Wednesday, October 9th already, Yom Kippur. But I think by now it is the end of the day in Israel, so they wait until sundown and then another hour before they break their fast. So, go ahead, Larry.
All right, folks. How many are here, Mary Ellen? Hello.
Nobody yet. So give it a minute.
Okay.
And I'm turning my volume off, so.
So we got nobody.
Nobody yet. Where's everybody? Well, we started right at 13. So it's growing. So we're just giving people a couple minutes to get here. I've got the volume off of my phone. Hi, Mary. Hi, Linda. I'm reading your thing to myself. Pam and Linda. James. Movie maker.
Well,
two Lindas.
Let me say also to everybody, I understand I've been given information several times that I don't need to panic because nobody's here, because we are on during the day and people work. So I understand that. But I still don't like wasting part of the program when no one is here to hear it, because then you're bound to have to go back and repeat it. So that's my concern about people not being here yet.
Yeah.
But we have much to go over today that is very significant, very important, very critical, and very, very real. Very, very real. As I had promised y'all, President Trump did indeed submit the letter to Pelosi telling her she needs to bring this thing before a full vote of the House, or that he is not going to cooperate or allow his people to cooperate anymore with any of their subpoenas or hearings, etc. He's not going to do it. And folks, he shouldn't. Now, immediately, Pelosi, and soon will be Schiff, they're going to come back and say that he's obstructing justice, that he must follow the law. He must follow the Constitution. Guys, this is where it gets sick. They're not following the Constitution. They're the ones breaking the law. They're the ones trying to force Trump into a position that he cannot win. And that's why we have long-established policies and procedures to prevent this type of activity from going on. It's pretty sickening. It's very sickening when you think about what they're doing. In the simplest of terms, in the most fundamental way I can possibly break this down, is simply to say that the Democrats are using procedural rules to overthrow a duly elected president of the United States. It's never been done before. Don't let anybody kid you. It has never been done before. But it's happening now. It's pretty bad, folks.
Yeah,
And that's the bad news. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Linda said the same should be said of Pelosi not following the Constitution.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh no, it's gonna be knocked off.
Maybe. Well, just wait a minute. You're still here.
I'm still here. Let's see when it hangs up if I'm still with you.
Yep.
Test 2, 3. Am I still with you?
You're still with us. The sound is very, very weak, but try
Okay,
again.
I lost you. All right,
No, you're back. No, you're back. You're here. You're fine.
No, I'm not in the headset.
Oh, okay.
So I'm calling back.
Okie doke. Nature Girl, I don't know if he can shut down the government. Like, Schiff did have a point. There are 3 equal branches of government. Let me get Larry back in. He's back. Sorry.
All right, I'm back.
To get you back in. You're on.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Nature Girl said POTUS should shut down the government.
Well, he can't.
What I said. Okay.
He can't do that. Technically speaking, he can't, because it would require a vote in Congress. The president could not issue an executive order and just shut down government. He just can't do it. It would not work. So just forget that one.
Now, not doing an executive order, is that because the Ninth Circuit will shut it down, or because you just can't use the executive for that?
Well, he could. It just can't be done. It can't be done. It just can't be done. Now, when I say that, a lot of people are going to say, well, but he can. He could just go out there and take his pen and strike and shut down the government. No, he can't. No president has that kind of power. They must go before Congress to get such a move approved and allowed. So, know that.
Are we still under his declared emergency, or has that been rescinded or stayed?
No, we're still under his declared emergency. We're under that. But he can't shut the government down. Just know it. Mm-hmm. And we don't want him to. Look, guys, what we're fighting for, what President Trump is fighting for, is to save our country, save our nation. Shutting down our form of government is as wrong-minded as anything could be. It truly is.
Well, you certainly don't want a precedent set for somebody that, we don't want coming in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if somebody the Democrat got in office and started doing, what he said, that'd be bad news. And of course, then comes the question, we can declare martial law.
Mm-hmm. That's right. But just remember, guys, we're fighting to maintain our form of government. We are not wanting to participate with the socialists in shutting down our form of government. We're not. It's not what we're trying to do. It's not what our goal should be. So everybody should understand that. Now, if I seem a little exhausted and tired, folks, it's because I am exhausted and tired. I'm having about as hard a week as I've had in my life. It's been worrisome. It's been troublesome. So forgive me for being a little bit out of gas.
And Patrick asked about the December 21st, 2017 executive order. And it was the Ninth Circuit that put a stay on that, wasn't it?
Yes.
So James wonders why the House is wasting everybody's time and the Senate won't do they won't remove it. So what are they hoping to accomplish, James? What they're hoping to accomplish is just to hurt him. They're just dragging him through the mud until the election, hoping that chances. An Article 5 convention, is that what is
I'm sorry.
An Article 5 convention? Is that the convention of states?
Yes. To my knowledge, that is what they're referring to.
Yeah, the problem.
And once again, that problem, guys, if we would go to a convention of the states and our side was the only side presented, that'd be one thing. I don't like it, but that would be tempting. The problem is the other side's going to be there. And they're going to be working just as aggressively as ever, or more so, to get this gathering of states to realign our form of government, which is what they want, which is what they have set out to do since day one. We don't want that. There is nothing wrong with our form of government. Nothing. It has served us better than well for over 200 years. The form of government's not the problem. It's the people in the government that are the problem. So think about that. And we would be joining them in this exercise to destroy our country if we went with them to an Article 5 convention. We would. We need to stand our ground, guys. Stand our ground. Protect and defend the Constitution that those of us in the military, those of us that have had jobs, police jobs, those of us that have taken oaths swearing to protect and defend this nation, we've got to live up to it.
Yep. And those of us that haven't sworn but care about, we haven't sworn because we haven't been in that kind of a position. We care about it. We need to, defend and protect it too. And, if the only way we have is to use our voice and our collectively and our vote, but that only comes up every couple of years. So, we just need to keep talking, because the more you talk to people, and don't stop and waste your time when somebody's dead set against you, just keep moving on and find the next person. Try it. Cindy asked about Trey Gowdy, about with bringing him on the team.
Well, Trey Gowdy, as I have tried to reveal since day one, is not this great savior of this nation that so many people want him to be. He's not. He is not.
Didn't he take one of the ones that was taking money from the Hillary campaign?
From the Who campaign?
Was Gowdy one of the ones on her payroll? I thought I had read in 2016 that there were 5 Republicans in Congress that were McCain, Bryan. I thought Gowdy was one. But if I'm wrong, then I certainly stand. James asks, why is Drudge moving?
Why is what?
Drudge report moving against Trump.
Well, Matt is like so many others that are of the conservative group that are just tired of waiting. You know, they're just tired. So many people, including some of y'all, you're just tired of waiting. There's got to be movement. We've got to see something. Something's got to happen. And if it's not, then people like Matt and Chris Ruddy they just think we're losing. And that's not necessarily the truth.
That's all the questions we have, folks. We've got 53 here right now, and you can hear that he's really struggling. We're so incredibly long hours on the phone from 7 in the morning till 11 at night, 4 in the morning. I don't know. He's working. I don't know who's calling him, but that's none of our business. He's working hard. So anything you can do to help him would be great. I do have the shirt here that Marcia asked me to tell you guys. I promised to bring it back again today. Gotta get this. Never Socialism. You can get it that's so that it says Nichols Army at the bottom, or you can leave it out. And I'll bring it in a little closer. Let's see if I can see how to.
Well, just remember, guys, there are a lot of people disgruntled that nothing is happening, or it's not happening fast enough for them, and they're lashing out. And I wish they wouldn't, but they are. It's not the lashing out that bothers me. They have a right to lash out and be upset and be concerned. I'm telling you the reasons behind. Just beware. Just beware that a lot of people that seem to be getting off of Trump are upset, as we all are, and that nothing's happening or things are not happening big enough, soon enough for all of us. So we're going to have that. We're going to have it.
No. I mean, when it comes right down to it, when it's time to vote, don't expect those people to flip their vote to somebody else. They're just trying. A lot of people that have an audience are trying to make noise right now. They're just, they're trying to motivate people to do, I would imagine. Yes, just a crazy. And Amanda asked, what's so discouraging? I think I would suggest that one of the most discouraging things is the fact that we have to put some we can't go forward because the judicial system is so rigged. Even if you go forward with the prosecution, you can't because it'll just get thrown out of court. You'll lose your one and only chance to do something. I don't know if there's anything on that. Well, his PayPal account, folks, is nicholslive@aol.com, and you can hear what happens when the funding is inadequate. This is the cause. Yes, please help in any way you can. I'm typing it in again. His PayPal account is nicholslive@aol.com. That's scary. He says he was a minister at a church a few years back when a full garb came in the back and began taking pictures of the exits to the sanctuary. We helped him out the door as he screamed. He had a very evil countenance. And I'll tell you, I know about that evil. My folks were missionaries, and there was one service when a man with a very, very red face from his absolute rage came and held a gun up to my dad's temple.
Yep.
So that's that. Seeing the demonic manifesting in somebody's life is disturbing.
Yes, it is.
James says, I think Trump's doing all he can.
He is. He's doing every bit of what he can and more.
And James thinks after he wins in 2020, he'll go full bore. And I think you have said something like that in the past as well.
Yes.
There's a lot that he can do in sending the education system back to the states where it's supposed to be. The federal government was never supposed to be in charge of education, and the states handed over their purview to the federal government in exchange for funding, and they need to take the responsibility. And there are a few states that are saying, no, thank you, we'll do without your funds and do things our way, and that's the right way to do it.
That's right. Look, it's in our hands, folks. It's in our hands. Yours and mine. I'm going to tell y'all something. You have no idea what I'm doing. None of you do.
No, I don't either.
It is, I'm involved in ways that I can make a difference. Things that I know how to do, that I can share. Things that I have done, seen work, that I can share. And it's making a big difference in places maybe you guys don't see, but it's there every day. I'm not running around claiming to be somebody. I'm not running around claiming to know 4-star generals. I'm not claiming, there's no reason for me to do that. I'm not in this for personal glorification. I'm certainly not in it for money. I want one thing. I want my country back. I want my country back for my daughter and my granddaughters and my grandkids. That's what I want. And y'all gotta help me. Because it's your future for your children and grandkids as well. It is. We have to fight. You know, I told you a long time ago, wars come in many different ways. There's political wars, there's economic wars, there's just about every form of war you can imagine. We're facing all of them now. We are. Help me, help us. Help me, help us.
I'm going to add one more thing. I know there are people who are getting impatient and want to do something. So, for example, there's a march on DC and in support of Trump. You know, what are they going to accomplish down the street? Do they go home then and think that's all they need to do? They've put their piece. They've shown up, and I mean, even with the pro-life situation, people come in every January for the March for Life, and what do they accomplish while they're there? What difference is that making? Larry is making a huge difference. So rather than spending money going to a march, going to this, going to that demonstration or whatever, Larry has said, help him stay in the fight because of what he can do that we can't do. And he can do things because of the people he has had contact with for the last 40 years. He knows people at all levels, the highest and the lowest, and everything in between. And he knows people who have ways of fighting. Patrick, Larry was talking about the coup in July before Trump got the nomination. Larry's been involved in helping to get Trump elected and helping to stop the coup from the time he heard about it. I first started hearing him talking about it the second week in July, 2016. The whole whistleblower thing has been pretty much made up. It's probably somebody from the CIA who was planted in the White House. I think that's the latest information on that. I had heard that Brennan was asking people to step up, and of course they changed the rules on whistleblowers. You don't have to have been a first-hand witness to it. Now you can do it on hearsay. How many are crooked? Definitely the ones at the top of the FBI and CIA and maybe NSA are like our congressmen and senators wanting their power and aren't working for the people. The everyday folks at the regular levels are not the same way. I don't understand. I tried to bring him in and he didn't come in. So let me try, see again. Larry, I don't understand. He tried and it didn't happen. Hang on, let me get, it might be Larry. I can't get you back in. You want to use the microphone? Yeah, I noticed that. Okay. So I was answering a couple of the questions. Donald, I'm going to answer this question. Donald Huffman asked if Hillary's running for president. Larry has said, never count the Clintons out. The Democrats are angry that she lost the election. I saw a tweet that she made today that said, I can win against Trump again. Which I thought was pretty funny.
Like she did the last time, right?
Yeah, we'll let her, we'll watch her win like she did last time again. Yep. So, I mean, you can't ever count her out, but the Democrats blame her for losing. and having blocked them from getting everything they wanted in the way of ultimate power. So,
we're back. Can you hear me?
yes.
Oops, I'm sorry about the hookup. I got knocked off. Now I got knocked off. I couldn't get in, so we're having to do it the other way. Any other question? Let me tell you now the important stuff that's going on. China has agreed to work with a script provided by Shift and this group I have told you about, the group known, or used to be known as the Cellar Boys. And for those that missed the program about the Cellar Boys, let me explain it. This is a group within the CIA. This is the group that is used to overthrow countries, to literally come in, develop strategies, techniques, etc., to overthrow other countries' governments. They're good. They've been at this for years and years and years. They have been extremely successful if you consider destroying the government of other countries, if you consider destroying that form of government that the people in those countries wanted, being successful, then they're successful. And they have turned their operation onto getting rid of President Trump. They have. Never before has this group been used to actually destroy an American government, or in this case, an American president, which leads to destroying that form of government. They used to be called the Cellar Boys when I knew them, because the meetings were highly secretive and they were conducted in the basement area of the Capitol. And it was there that a special joint task force of the Senate and House intelligence people made up this committee, and they would assign the group their job, their work. And that group is active today, going after President Trump. They have power. They have powers that you, I don't believe, if you knew exactly what they're capable of, I don't believe you would endorse them. I don't know that we should even have such an organization today. I don't know if we should have ever had it, but we did. They're coming after President Trump. They are. They're going after China with a script. With a script. And this script, they believe, will be plenty sufficient to hang President Trump for obstruction of justice, treason, you name it. They're going after him with it. And you have to understand the reason I'm concerned about this is because it's totally contrived. They made it up. They have made it all up. And of course, China, being in the shape they are, wanting to stop President Trump and what he's doing with the tariffs that he is placing on China, they want him out. China wants him out of office. And so certainly they are 100% willing to say whatever is needed to be said. They are. And they will do it. So you're going to start hearing some of the most hellacious stories coming out of China. That you're just not going to believe it. And I suggest to all of you, I beg all of you, when these stories start coming out, when this stuff starts being exposed, don't, I repeat, don't believe it. Know who it's coming from, please. Know the people starting the bad news. Really bad news. So are we clear about that?
If you can hear it, yes, it's clear. Don't believe the stories that are going to come out because they're coming from Schiff and China. And China is willing to follow the script that Schiff has given them. And Tamara, we can't go after them for their treason yet, because even if you were to arrest them, what would you do with them? Because there's no court to go into. So until...
Well, that's part of the problem. Who are you going to prosecute them through? But that's problem one coming right there. The manufactured script coming from Chip to Pelosi. Another thing you're going to start seeing
Is what? Say again, Larry, another thing, what?
You're going to start seeing Joe Biden now coming out and calling for impeachment. You'll notice prior to today, he has not touted impeaching President Trump. Well, that's going to change. And he is going to push to impeach President Trump. Why? Because he has to defeat Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren has been all over President Trump over this impeachment junk. He has kept quiet. So his people in the party are being perturbed at him for not standing up and calling for impeachment. So you're going to hear him coming out. Don't believe what he's going to say. Don't believe what he is going to be saying. Just don't. Are we clear on that?
Yes.
It's important, guys. It's important that you understand what I'm saying in this regard. Because we're down to it now. We are now in total war. We're in a battle. There must be one. We're in a battle that be dealt with out front. I am probably, now this is not confirmed yet, but it may be that I will be used to expose the seller group. If I am, then you'll need to know they're going to come to destroy my credibility. I would hope that none of you will believe it, what they're going to say. I wish you wouldn't. Because I don't have any way to fight back against the kind of junk they would be able to do to me, allegedly guilty of. I don't have no money, no power. But somebody's got to bring it up. Somebody's got to bring it out. Somebody has to. And it's got to be somebody that, in honesty, in all honesty, has had experience with them. That knows what they do and how they do it. And since most of the people that have been a part of that organization over the years will not come out against them, and it dumps it on my doorstep.
Like so many other things, Larry, that other people won't come out with.
Hello, ma'am, what are you saying?
Sorry, I was reading what everybody else, the next questions, and I can't remember what I said. I'm sorry. Well, another question about why can't we just arrest them and try them before a military tribunal?
We can't. We can't. One more time, we cannot.
Yeah. The military tribunals can try somebody who's in the military or someone who has taken the military oath of office. And this is the kind of false information you've been getting because it doesn't work that way. I know Kavanaugh said something about it when Lindsey Graham asked him about it, but there are specific circumstances that have not been met for that to happen. And yes, Brennan said he was ordered to do this by Obama, and he made Obama sign an order before he and Clapper would do it. But the problem for them, for Brennan and Clapper, is it is illegal for them to obey an illegal order. And what Obama was asking them to do was illegal, therefore they should not have obeyed it, even if they want to blame him for putting it in writing. And the Supreme Court just can't.
By the way, so that y'all know, the evidence and proof that Brennan and Clapper insisted that they have it in writing from the president before they would engage in a counterintelligence investigation of an American citizen. That information was released by me. That's where that came from, me. And a group of people I work with that are masters in finding evidence. Let's call it that better way. So things is going to pick up, guys. Business is going to pick up. And it's going to be hellaciously hard. Hellaciously hard. We have to be
Is there anything that we can do to help protect POTUS, the president?
Yes. Yes, there is. Believe in him, trust in him. Can be done. Must be done.
Okay, James thought you could try anybody guilty of treason, insurrection, and sedition before a military tribunal. I'm going to add that if there was a way to do it, it would be done. So if they're not doing it, that means they can't do it, at least certainly not now. So, and there's so much information being put out there that's just plain wrong. And when I hear people will text me and send me videos to watch or say that they heard this, that, or the other, and if I get it when Larry calls me, if I run it by him, I mean, this morning we were laughing pretty hard about all the stuff that was coming out because it's not true. So, there has to be a way to hold them accountable, but right now we don't have the judicial system to make it work. And don't forget, folks, that the military tribunals are run by top people in the military, and those are appointed positions. They're not just people who've come up through the ranks through a regular promotion. By the time you get to that level, your promotion has been a political appointment. So, a lot of the heads of the military are going to be deep state as well, which is why you hear questions about who's really on Trump's side. Larry has not ever indicated complete knowledge of the killing of JFK or the entities behind 9/11. There is similar evil at work for sure, but as to whether it's the same group, whether it's he has never been willing to or able. I don't know. His knowledge doesn't cover that. Okay, let's just put it that way. I mean, it certainly would sound like and seem like, and many of us believe it's deep state. And Larry's not going to talk about something unless he has proof about it. And he doesn't flippantly just give his opinion when he doesn't know strongly. Yeah. We're up to 82. Folks, do what you can. Pam, send me your text message. Text me your contact information. Oh shoot, I didn't put my cell phone is listed under the donate page at nicholslive.com. Pam, contact me. And Nature Girl, Larry doesn't know about that execution. He doesn't know, doesn't say. Pam, send me give me a call. And folks, do what you can to help Larry today. You can hear he desperately needs the help. So with that, buy a t-shirt, buy Larry's CD. It's very beautiful music, and I keep forgetting that I promised to play it for you, and I had to pack up one of my little my stereo's packed up already, so I guess I'm not going to be able to do it until I get moved. Yes, Pastor Roach, the plot is truly monumental to unravel. And Larry is certainly working very hard to make it happen. So
Yeah, that's about it for me today.
yeah.
There will be more information coming out this week. It will be critical for each and every one of you.
All right, Larry, thank you for being here. Get some rest, and I'll do a little more, see if we can round up a little bit of funding for you. I'm gonna hang up now. We don't need to listen to him sleep. Folks, that's how exhausted he is today. That is the level of the way he has pushed, and his poor wife is so upset with him for pushing himself, because it just takes such a toll on his body, takes such a toll on his health, and he's doing things while the doctors tell him that, you know, he shouldn't be alive given his condition, but you know, he won't quit. And if he were to stop and take time, then there would be such a major problem. If you're having trouble getting on PayPal, you can send a text message. And I'm sorry, I didn't put the phone number. You know, I don't have, oh, I can do it with my cell phone. Hang on, let me just type it in. I forgot, that's why I keep the cell phone going as well as the computer, so I can see the chat in both of them. So, so text me if you're having trouble getting on PayPal, or text me if you don't use PayPal and want to donate some other way. He's going to need as much help as he can get today. Share the information, share the video, hit the like button, and do anything you can to try and help raise some funds for Larry. You know, talk to people, ask them if they'd be willing to help and do something. So with that, I'm going to end it. Thanks for being here. We'll talk tomorrow. God bless you. Bye.